15. We've also got the OEM car audio quick time points, and that is points from the time trials. Caleb Bourne, the Sheriff, he's over in Melbourne this weekend, so we're not going to see the Sheriff here. Connor Rangi and Joel Myers on 13. So the car out on the track right now, it is the 21T of Shannara Stronach from Invercargill. Great heat race win last weekend down there at Riverside Raceway. And yeah, she may just take it a little bit gingerly, I'm picking, and a lot of them will be looking and just seeing if there are any greasy spots and so on out there. Shannara started off youth mini stocks productions and got up there into the 6-shooters and then into sprint cars. So fairly sedate first lap. It's a 19.564. That was only a warm-up lap. So now the starter's got the green flag ready. Here we go, Shannara Stronach in the 21T car, 19th in the Hydrolink War of the Wings points. Driver not afraid to get in there and mix it with the big guns. It's actually like her first full season in the sprint cars. She got into them towards the end of last year, 17.12 for that first lap for Shannara. Those lap times will start tumbling as we get through the time trials here. Hydrolink War of the Wings sprint cars presented by Shearing Contractors or Shearing Earth Moving. Shannara's next one, a 16.982. The 44T car, that's Daniel Anderson from Tiana. Daniel has raced up in the USA. He knows how important the time trials are. The Ranch Bar and Grill, top 10 Tiana Vertex Lubricants, Triple X, 2017 South Island Sprint Car Champion. Currently 7th in the points. First lap for Anderson, a 15.821. There you go. 15.260 for Anderson. Sorry, they're giving them that one extra lead-in lap.
2 warm-ups and 2 laps.
That one is 15.657. So Daniel Anderson's best time of 15.260, the 3NZ.
So a tricky track there, AJ, but we've got a few more drivers coming along, and of course it's our 3NZ of Matthew Levisage. He's bound to put down a pretty good time, I would imagine.
I would imagine so, in the Toyco WD-40 J&J, former South Island champion, former Auckland champion, 8th in points, won the Nelson round. And Levisage, certainly a driver who has benefited by running up there in the North Island, came back home. He's a very good TQ racer back in the day.
16.04. That's not counted.
Levisage's time a 16.041. Let's see how he crosses the line this time around. And it's a 15.765. So Daniel Anderson, still the driver who has got the fastest lap in the log.
And on the track, the gas man, 15C, Steve Duff Jr. He's certainly earned his name as the gas man, never afraid to put his foot into it. And we'll see how he goes on his first lap around.
Yeah, 3rd in last season's Hydrolink War of the Wings sprint cars. The Concut JW Neal seed cleaning and screening machine. Running the Maxim chassis. 3rd in this year's South Island Championship. And a time of 16.772 for Duff. He's running 2nd in last weekend's feature race down at Riverside before he and Jacob McIntyre got together, and this time for Duff, it's a 16.596 for Steve Duff Jr. Here he is, it's the Big Mac, Jacob McIntyre. An absolute model of consistency through this year's Hydrolink War of the Wings campaign. Second in the first round at Ruapuna. Currently first equal in points. Finished fourth at Greymouth. So he does share that lead with Joel Myers Jr. 16.402, the first lap for Jacob McIntyre.
So a tough track for these sprint car drivers to navigate. 16 seconds, not a particularly fast time, but we can see how much work these guys are having to do in the corners. And Jacob McIntyre with a top time of 16.11 seconds puts him about third position.
Yeah, it is a little bit greasy. The track maybe just not drying out quite as quickly as they anticipated. The 42 car, next car out on the track, that is the man they call Chester, Nigel Colvin from Winton, in the Central Southland Excavating Kingston Quarries Triple X. Currently 17th in points. Took out last year's final round race down there at Cromwell. Boy, that was a war of attrition, and Chester emerged from the trenches with the trophy and the prize money. First lap of 16.143.
Yeah, Nigel going a little slower to go fast, if that makes sense, folks. Just gently easing himself into the corners and coming up for his second lap here. And, a good time, 16.05, so he shoots into third position. Of course, Daniel Anderson holding quick time at the moment, 15.65. Matthew Leversedge, 15.76.
Yeah, well, the drivers certainly got their hands full. Maybe the last, 3 or 4 cars might reap the benefit of all of this. Sometimes it pays to be the recipient of an early number.
Yep.
Sometimes, you know what? I think tonight might be the night where you want a late one. The 44 car, this is Alan Chapman out there on the track, and boy, he's certainly a real tyro, old Harry.
I talked to Harry in the pits earlier on. He's got a brand new motor in this thing, a KRE, which is the top sprint car motor you can buy. They had a dyno tuned the other day, 897 horsepower. He says it's like a wild bucking bronco. He doesn't know how he's going to control it, but he made some changes at the last meeting and he feels like he's getting on top of it. So good luck to you, Harry. Hope you get 2 good laps in, although it looks a little greasy for you at the moment.
Yeah, Alan Chapman, like 2008, he finished third in the South Island Sprint Car Championship. He'd only just started in the class then. One of those very, very keen racers. Lives up there in Cust, agricultural contractor, so sometimes he doesn't know whether to laugh or cry when it rains. First lap for Alan Chapman, a 16.585. It's not going to be a good lap for Alan Chapman. He got a real dirty old push on, so let's just say a 16.585 is going to be his best lap. That was a 17.517. Well, another one from the agricultural area. This is the Flying Farmer, the 64 car of Matt Honeywell. One of the angriest sounding sprint car engines you're going to hear around. And the Sky Farmers Aviators, Plains Irrigators, Miller's Tractor Spares Maxim. Won the 2016 New Zealand Sprint Car Grand Prix. He's got 8 Hydrolink War of the Wings feature race wins to his credit. First lap was a 15.405. We've got a new quick time. We're down to 15.197. Let's see how Honeywell goes with this one. The 15.138, 15.138, the best time for Matt Honeywell, the Flying Farmer. Connor Rangi in the 57 car. That's the Dalton's machine. Took out the Dalton Sprint Car SummerSlam here at Ruapuna. Another one utilising the Maxim, third in the 2019 South Island Championship, defending War of the Wings Sprint Car Champion. As the drivers start just taking some of the grease out of the track and so on, it could be a good time for Rangi a 15.615. Let's see whether he can drop it down just a tad next time round. Gets a little bit hung up exiting the corner at 15.642. So his best lap was a 15.588. Big welcome back. The driver of the 9 car hasn't raced a sprint car for 3 or 4, maybe 5 seasons. It's the Flash, Chris Gerard, the Landon Thompson machine. The Flash did say, expect nothing, I am rusty. But these guys, you know, once the Flash remembers that you count to about 4, then turn left. He was a real tornado back in his day, Craig.
Yeah, well, of course, we're all used to Stephen Taylor driving this car, so we know it's got plenty of horsepower. And just watching the Flash there, 16.02 for his first lap. Pretty good going for a guy that hasn't raced for 3 seasons. And let's see if he can improve that on his second lap here. So the Niche-sponsored sprint car 9N from Nelson. And his time is 15.89. So congratulations, Chris. You broke into the 15-second barrier. Well done to you, mate, after 3 seasons off.
Yeah, he's got a couple of seconds to go now, hasn't he? Here's the 16 car. Out of Dunedin, Matt Anderson, the Penrite Peterson Fabrication Maxim, 5th in last year's Hydrolink War of the Wings. He's a regular in the Dirty Dozen. And the Dirty Dozen, that's the group of drivers who are in the top 12 points. He has never been out of that group in the 5 years that it has been running. Just a small team, he and his dad make their way around the tracks. Gets out a little bit wide where she's a bit greasy out there. So it's a 16.822. He'll be a bit disappointed with that one. Let's see if he can get that corner exit sorted. Look better this time. He should well leap up a fairway, and he does do a 16.062. Sean Action Ashton in the 73 car. 2-time winner of the Salute to Goody X-Modifieds and Saloons. He's in the Complete Automotive Triple X. We don't see a lot of Sean out there in the sprint car racing these days, but he is a guy you absolutely write off at your peril. His first lap, a 16.597. Sean hasn't been on the track since the Sprint Car Nationals. Real excitement machine when he gets the elbows up. Leaps up a little to a 16.130. They're all chasing Matt Honeywell with a 15.138. Here's the Duff Man in the Procrete Mag and Turbo Warehouse, number 19. 4 times and current South Island Sprint Car champion, 2015 New Zealand champion, 5 times Sprint Car War of the Wing champion. First lap, a 15.403. He's winding it up. How good was that feature win at the last show here for the Duff Man? And it's a 15.774. So they are still chasing Matt Honeywell. Daniel Anderson in second. Car out on the track now. It's the 12T. Corey McQuillan just scrapes him to the Dirty Dozen. It's his first Hydrolink War of the Wings campaign. Came to sprint cars out of saloons, and boy has he impressed a lot of people with his performances this year. What you'd call a low buck operation. Boy, he certainly gets plenty of bang for the buck. The CM Decorators Wasp Plasterers Mr. Roofer, cool chassis car, and McQuillan's best lap time, a 15.607. Here we go, it's the Sasquatch in the 95 car. Caleb Bourne, another former winner of the Hydrolink War of the Wings sprint cars. The Avon Insurance Bowater Motor Group Maxim, second in this season's South Island Championship. (16.309) the first lap for Bourne. marginally better. Actually, he went backwards a little. 16.539, but his best lap is 16.309. Another new boy to the Sprint Car Wars, Bailey Patterson. Good showing by Bailey at that last show, Craig.
Yeah, Bailey, just a newcomer to sprint car racing, but doing particularly well. And Bailey's first lap there, 16.6 seconds. Particularly tricky track there tonight. You can see these guys just trying to hold the horsepower on the ground, and the cars are getting away on them in the corners. But let's see what Bailey's second lap's like, and see if he can improve on 16.6. He does. 16.46, just a little quicker there, Bailey. Well done to you. And of course, this brings back to the track the Springston flyer, David Kerr, in the Ford Fontana, the 800 plus horsepower engine about to power its way around Ruapuna Speedway.
Yeah, Dave Kerr was one of the showstoppers last weekend at Riverside. Set an all-time track record down there in the Ford. One of those sorts of tracks that really suited him. It was lumpy, it was bumpy, and it was fast. An 8-time South Island midget car champion, former NZ3 in the midgets. Oop, bit of wall kissing going on by the bounty hunter, Dave Kerr. And Kerr about to notch up that first lap time, and it is a 15.990. 15.990 for Kerr. Let's see if he stops the sundial any quicker this time around. And he leaps up there with a 15.523 to fourth quick. Now this is the guy that knows all about time trials. He is our current co-leader. Hydrolink War of the Wings sprint car action from Sebastopol in Northern California. It's Joel Myers Jr., unbeaten in Hydrolink War of the Wings feature races. First lap of 15.186 for Myers. Comes from that deal up there in the States. If you're slow in time trials, you pack up and go home. And he's quick time with a 14.938. Joel Myers Jr. Starting to run out of cars now, the 35. And the Reburgers, Doyleston Engineering Works, Wholesale Motors, Triple X. 12th in last year's Hydrolink War of the Wings campaign. He's tougher than goat's knees, this guy. She's cowboying up on him, isn't it? He's really got the tiger by the tail. Second in the hard charger points. He got all knotted up there. And as far as the War of the Wings standings goes, Mean Gene Spooner in 14th. The first lap for Spooner, a 17.537.
Yeah, that car not happy with the setup there for Mean Gene Spooner, but he'll make some adjustments there. This brings to the track Oscar Harcourt. Oscar was the quick time winner of the Invercargill session. Just looking at Gene Spooner there, he's put himself together a 16.0 second lap, so pretty good going. And it's the Value Cars Warehouse 7C of Oscar Harcourt about to attack 2 laps at Ruapuna.
Yeah, he is. He's got a couple of feature race wins here at Ruapuna. 9th in last year's Hydrolink War of the Wings. Currently 11th. Set quick time at Riverside last weekend. Let's see how Oscar goes. Showing a lot of pace in that lead-in lap. Down the back straight past the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand. Down there through the Stadium Finance Prison Bend. And Harcourt's first lap is a 15.531. 15.531. That's got him in 4th spot right now. Looking good this time round. And Harcourt's best time, a 15.271. The 75 car, Slammin' Sam O'Callaghan. TNL MTF Easy Cranes Triple X. Twice he's been second in the South Island Championships. He's got 3 Hydrolink War of the Wings feature wins to his credit. Last weekend he was the top points qualifier From heat race action at Riverside and Cromwell came the dash, and he drew number 6. O'Callaghan with a 15.354. The Kevin Freeman Motorsport entry. And it's a 15.381 for Sam O'Callaghan. That brings to a conclusion tonight's Time Trials Hydrolink War of the Wings Sprint Cars. The quick time set by Joel Myers Jr. at 14.938.